Hello, everybody, and welcome to. Well, you're going to see it in just a moment, but this is Bendy and the Ink Machine. This is a bit of a different game, I think, than what we've done on the channel because this is more of a horror game. And so I am Josh, and I am joined by.
Greetings, I am Ethan.
Greetings, I am Carlos.
And so we're just kind of getting started right now. So basically, what's going on right now? We have this note we got from an old friend of ours telling us to come back over to the to the studio because I guess he has something for us or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So what?
And like I did for Portal 2, I'm gonna kind of basically cut out a lot of the loading screens whenever there are any, which
yes,
there are pretty few.
Oh, this game is first person. Okay, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, this is a first person game, yeah, and it has a very like old style sepia, however you say that, kind of style to it.
Yeah, it's certainly derivative of the I guess those classic 1930s, 1940s cartoons that you see. Basically kind of like Cuphead, but I guess taken in a different direction. Like right there, you could say that it looks like something from Cuphead, and then you could say Cuphead looks like something from the 1940s.
Yeah, that's the kind of style it's going for, like that kind of style that Cuphead tried to go for. Those really old like Mickey Mouse
I mean, they both succeed. They both succeed in what they're trying to do.
Exactly, and it looks like here, but I can kind of tell from the color scheme of the whole game. It's not going to be a colorful game, is it?
No, there's little to no color in this entire game.
It seems to only be
the only color you could technically identify is yellow.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'd assume because
they pissed over the walls.
I'd assume because I guess the graphic artist wants to make the whole world paper, and then there's this ink machine which can just ink all over the paper, I guess. If that's what they're going for, kind of. Would that be correct?
Yeah, pretty much. And the whole kind of art style that the game is trying to go for, like I said, it's the characters kind of resemble that really old style cartoon, and the game is trying to kind of give that sort of feel with its color scheme and style as well.
Gotcha. Alrighty then. With that said, what exactly is the ink machine, and who is Bendy?
We're gonna see Bendy a little bit later on. Bendy is kind of the main I don't want to try to give away too much, but Bendy, we're gonna be seeing him pretty often. The ink machine. How do I explain this? The ink machine,
not that thing, or that thing. Okay.
That big thing you just saw kind of ascend out of the abyss. That's the ink machine.
The abyss has shown its colors.
It kind of I guess in a way you can kind of say it gives life to the cartoons, the drawings. I guess I don't really know a really good way to explain it, but that's kind of what it's for.
It breathes life into the inanimate.
So are you saying
don't tell me you spent actual
Bullseye,
time
dang
playing
it.
this.
Bullseye, dang it.
No, please don't tell me that you spent.
Hey, let's go.
Whoa, let's go. I suck at darts.
I thought your forward motion into the dartboard was somebody pushing you into the darts and then you die.
Dark Souls, you died. But it's something you're definitely gonna notice as I'm kind of as I'm kind of walking through. This is a pretty big area, even just for this first chapter. So there's a lot of exploring around and a lot of kind of going around extra areas and doing little mini games you're probably gonna see throughout the game because there's a lot to this. There's a lot going on.
I see. So the basic. I guess the basic horror gameplay that's a staple in most horror games is the
there's a dead body right in front of us right now, so
Oh, was that what that was?
That's a dead character basically.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not really 100% sure how I kind of figured out the characters' names, but you can usually kind of figure it out from the old posters you kind of see on the sides and. I don't know who the hell that was, but they just kind of decided to get online when I was playing.
Hebrew Hammer, I don't know, some sort of.
You know, I got a lie. It would have been funny if I got online when you were recording.
Oh man, wait, that wasn't there before.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, you're gonna notice stuff like that too. Sometimes you're probably gonna notice like changes in like an environment as you're kind of backtracking. So what we saw a moment ago is we saw the thing that we need in order to actually turn on the ink machine, but we need to collect like different like items in order to actually like turn it on for some whatever reason.
Oh, items.
Gotcha. So basic fetch quest before you actually can go do the thing.
Yeah, we're doing a really basic kind of like fetch quest and stuff. We're just getting a couple of random items and stuff like that. This game has gone through a lot of changes, and I mean a lot since it was originally like a demo in Chapter 1. And I could just go on for freaking. I could probably even do like a whole video of just explaining all the different changes. It's been through so much change. Like a new chapter would come out, and they would completely redo the previous chapter. It's crazy.
Really? So wait,
that's how I heard things go. Look, lights off.
So did the whole game not release at the first? It came out in spurts and chapters.
Yeah. So the game kind of started as like a demo basically, and it would like slowly release over time as different chapters across 5 chapters.
Oh, okay. Sort of like a Telltale game, but you're saying like the next chapter that came out changed some events in the previous chapter?
That's basically how it constantly went. Like the first chapter was pretty basic and stuff, but then like when Chapter 2 came out, they would do some changes to the previous chapter to kind of like make it different, a bit more polished and stuff like that. And it went like that through pretty much the entire game until it eventually released. And I think Chapter 4 was actually the biggest overhaul because they actually like changed the entire like all the graphics of the game. Like what you're seeing now is not how the game originally looked.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Chapter 4 was the biggest overhaul of the entire game.
Interesting. When did this game first come out? Like Chapter 1?
When it fully released, or like when it was still kind of being worked on?
When Chapter 1 first released, and then and the final release. If
that's actually a good question. I'm pretty sure the full game itself came out in like 2018, I think.
Huh, okay.
I could probably look it up really quick on my phone.
It says February 10th, 2017.
2017. Okay, yeah, I got that a little bit off, but yeah. So, and I think it was worked on for probably like a year, maybe. It was in development for a while.
Yeah, it was.
Huh. Okay.
So we're kind of also seeing now. I'll usually kind of stop in these moments because there's these like voice recordings that will be left behind by some of the previous workers that will kind of like explain what's sometimes kind of like what's going on. They'll kind of give you lore about what's happening in the studio at the moment when it was created and stuff, and it might give you clues of what you need to do as well.
Gotcha. So like flavored text and world building to the whole area that you're traversing through.
Kind of for the most part. I mean, like the thing that we just read basically was saying that like Joey, which I guess was like the main manager, was saying that they had to give like different items as like a sort of, I guess you can sort of say, sacrifice to the ink machine, and so those are the things that we're collecting right now, as trying to tell you like this is what you need to do.
Ink god. Ink for the ink god. Oh.
Okay. So basically that's what you're collecting now, is all the gears and the wrenches are basically these things called sacrifices?
They're like items that represented the different like members pretty much. So like we got like a wrench,
so, like
and a codget, but we also got like a book and like a plushie or something like that. Different things that represented the different workers.
Huh. Okay.
So
look,
and then we all place them in this room. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely not ritualistic.
Wrench.
Book.
Okay.
Definitely not a ritualistic setup for this.
Totally not. No, it's not. It's almost as if the pedestals are not designed to sink down into the ground when you place the corresponding item on it.
Totally doesn't look sketchy in any way.
Yeah.
There's also, I don't really go through them, but and that's even like another thing we could probably
do.
Yeah, look, hello there.
It made me kind of be like a little scared, but there's also like random like Easter eggs and secrets.
Barely reacted to it. They were like, "You're supposed to be scared." No.
There's also like random like Easter eggs and secrets you can find depending on certain stuff you interact with. I don't really
Who's
interact
over
with
the
anyone
floor?
through this playthrough, but that could even be like a bonus thing we could potentially do if we're all up for that.
Huh.
Because there's a lot of secrets. There's like special stuff you can find by like walking through specific parts of the wall.
Huh, interesting. Well, maybe you could do that on your own time, because you still have your own channel, right? Wait a minute.
Oh, maybe I could probably do like a game box like bonus episode or something maybe.
Yeah, that.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Hello? Ha ha, very funny. Hank, quit screwing around. You told me yourself not to screw around. Hank! Hope? Janet! Guys. Guys. Okay, seriously, don't joke around. Bring me up, let's go. Guys!
Well, Ethan just died.
Sorry, technical difficulties on my
Yeah,
end.
don't worry about that. Ethan just kind of got eviscerated.
I have no idea what just happened. My Discord app closed and nothing else closed. OBS was still recording, but Discord decided to close,
Sometimes.
and then turn back on,
Sometimes.
and then turn back on my other monitor for some reason. So I have no idea what that was all about. So what the?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a
Splooge,
jump scare.
that
So we
leaves-
turned on the ink machine actually, and we decided to go walk over there, but it was boarded up. And so when we tried going over there, we just kind of get jump scared by Bendy.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's Bendy. Okay.
Yeah, that was Bendy. That's the ink demon, and everything is just kind of falling apart upon us. And with the, oh, jeez, we couldn't make it to the exit.
I mean, what else is sitting there? What else is sitting there?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bendy is basically the main antagonist of the game.
Yeah, pretty much. But Bendy is like the main like big threat pretty much in the game that you have to avoid.
Gotcha. So how does he work? Does he work something similar to like Nemesis in Resident Evil, or what?
Well, I don't know how that works. So
Nemesis in Resident Evil 3, barring a
Remake
couple.
or original?
The original. The remake is garbage. So in the original game, barring some scripted sequences, Nemesis was the big enemy that would chase you out through the entire game. So even if you're like besides save rooms and all of that, so like if you happen to stumble across him, you need to like run away and hide until he couldn't find you anymore. And that's basically it. He just acted like a regular enemy, but he was, well, basically your nemesis.
Yeah, so you have to kind of like hide somewhere if he notices you. So that's you're kind of asking if he's like that.
Yeah, and it's not a scripted sequence. He's just like a main enemy of the game. The remake, why the remake is garbage is because they relegated Nemesis to scripted sequences, which the original,
Really?
yeah, which the original never did.
I see.
Okay, so does he work? So does Bendy work like sort of like Nemesis in the original, or scripted sequences like in the remake of 3?
He's a little bit of both. The first time we saw him, that was a scripted one. Like that jump scare when he like pushed us over. That was completely scripted. I didn't have anything to do with that.
Okay.
Well, I think that's kind of obvious.
And also just kind of a little thing. Like if you actually decide to just not run and just stay there, he doesn't actually come after you. He just kind of disappears afterwards.
Oh really?
Yeah, he just kind of disappears. But it's supposed to make you feel like you have to kind of get out of there.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. That is
But
interesting.
later on, one of the later chapters, it does have a similar kind of thing. Like he'll roam around a bit, and if he notices you, you have to hide and you have to try to get away from him so he doesn't kill you.
I see. Josh, what have you done? You know you're never supposed to step into the center of demon circle rings.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a because there is like there is like lore and stuff that you have to kind of figure out, and that's one of the ones that's a bit confusing because you just kind of walk into a room and then you see images of like Bendy and like a wheelchair or
And
something
the
like
ink
that for
machine
some reason. Like,
Huh. Okay.
I don't know, but then you just kind of pass out. And I'll just let you know right now, us passing out is basically how we transition between every single chapter.
I see. Okay.
Whether we like, like what happened there, like we pass out or we like sleep or something, that's basically like how we transition.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be like a demon summoning circle every time. It's
So
just
it's not going to be a summoning circle every time.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. We're not trying to summon Satan here. Not
Alright.
yet.
So chapter 1 was basically you gathering some of the artifacts, placing them on the pedestals, then you getting scared by Bendy, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
chapter 1 was basically kind of just an introduction. It's kind of showing you like the ink machine and kind of introducing you to Bendy and stuff like that, and then you run away, and now you're like even farther down into the studio, and it kind of just gets crazier from there.
Gotcha. So the whole game takes place in this whole studio?
Yeah, the whole game takes place in this like really like old like I guess I was gonna say kind of like animation studio, but like you have like musicians and other people doing stuff like that and whatever. But it's like this whole like studio for these people who worked on these cartoons, basically.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like why all the 40s and the cardboard cutouts of these 40 cartoons here. Okay. Oh no!
Oh no.
You can destroy the cardboard cutouts, which is kind of funny.
Okay. And so
something else you also saw, and you're probably going to see it a couple times too, is you'll see like subtitles that are different from the regular in-game subtitles. Those are going to be people saying stuff that didn't already have, like that weren't already subtitled in the game that I put myself.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So and it'll be obvious to tell the difference between the two, right?
Yeah, it's going to be
Well,
pretty
no,
obvious.
yeah,
It's a
it's pretty
completely
obvious.
different font from what the game uses.
Okay, gotcha.
You know
Coolio.
this?
Yeah, so if someone's saying something and it's not subtitled, that's something that I put in myself.
Interesting. Okay then. Coolio.
Yeah, like the guy that we saw walking at the end of the hallway a moment ago, who was like saying something to himself that I subtitled that because it wasn't there before.
Alrighty then. So what was that guy? Was that just some sort of ink silhouette?
We don't really know much about him right now, but he is going to be a bit important in chapter 2 later on.
Okay. Oh, so he's kind of the focus of this next chapter. Wait, was that the same cardboard cutout you hit earlier before?
Yeah, so
Wait a minute.
Already.
if you destroy a cardboard box and then turn around and turn back, it respawns.
Huh.
And it's like that for every cardboard box in the game, pretty much.
Okay. Odd. Alrighty. But
Yeah, it's a weird little thing with the game.
Alright.
What we just had to do, we had to backtrack a little bit so we can open up that like door that just kind of lifted up so we can continue on. It was just a random thing you had to kind of go back and do. Now we're just kind of in this dark room. We got to like figure out how to actually power it.
I see. So
And,
what is the objective of this chapter here to turn on the lights, basically?
I mean, the objective is constantly changing. The kind of main objective throughout the whole game, I guess you can say, is just to try to get out of the studio.
Oh,
There's just blobs that seem to be trying to kill you.
blob enemies. Nice.
Yeah, these are the pretty basic like enemies you'll see throughout most of the game. I think they're called Seekers,
Okay.
something like that. I don't really 100% remember, but they're just the really generic like enemies. You'll see them pretty often.
So like all the enemies in this game are like goop monsters of some sort.
I mean, not to that kind of goop degree, but yeah, every kind of monster you'll encounter in the game is some kind of increation.
Yep.
Coolio. And now I
Recording.
and now I gotta ask, like, how does the combat feel in this game? Because from my experience with at least first-person games, I don't know if it's just me or if it's just a natural state of first person, but the combat isn't always that great. So I'm just wondering how it feels in this game.
I mean, it's pretty basic. I mean, basically, if you have a weapon, if you just left click, that's your attack button, and that's pretty much it.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah, you just kind of look at the enemy's direction and you just click, and that's pretty much the extent of the combat. It's not really anything special.
Okay.
So there's some enemies later on will be a bit tankier. They'll require more hits, but that's pretty much as tough as it gets.
Okay, yeah, because from my experience in first-person games, with melee combat rather, it just feels very clunky, because I guess that's not the primary way of taking care of enemies in the types of games. Because melee...
Yeah, I can understand. Mirror's Edge.
Oh, no!
I played Mirror's Edge, and then I played Ghost Runner. I'm like, man, Ghost Runner actually puts a depth into how you play this game.
I've never heard of Ghost Runner. Is Ghost Runner a better Mirror's Edge?
Okay. what Ghost Runner is, it's basically a game where you parkour like Mirror's Edge, but you have a sword with you, and you're just trying to. I haven't really completed much missions, so I'm just very basic information that I got.
Trying to kill stuff, and you also have like a time slowdown ability or something.
You have a time slowdown ability, and you're just like basically trying to complete your objective, but you have a grappling hook of some sort, and you do a lot like wall ride and jump between places.
Oh, that sounds like 100% better than Mirror's Edge. Also, I just saw the white ball fall into the hole. You failed.
Yeah. You don't get anything special for playing that. You're just kind of there.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, a little fun fact, that wasn't originally there in Chapter 2. That was something I added later on in the updates.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Like I said, I could go on forever with all the little changes that have been made, because there were a lot in all the previous chapters. The newer ones didn't get changed all that much because those are pretty close to the game's release, but chapters like 1, 2, and 3 had the most amount of changes throughout the entire game cycle.
Gotcha. So not only did like the updates add like more story events, I'm hearing, and also add just some more like side flavor things like that.
Yeah, they also kind of added like more like flavor, just kind of random extra stuff that you can see if you really try to look for it.
Interesting. Alrighty then.
Like that pool table, for example. there's no reason for it to be there, but it's there.
Alrighty then.
The developer was having fun when he made this game.
Honestly, yeah, he probably was having a good time with this.
Oh yeah, who exactly is the publisher of this game? Because I have to credit the publisher in the video descriptions, and when I was
really?
Yeah. So and when I was searching up who the publisher of this game was, it gave me 4 different answers. So I'm not sure what the answer is.
It's kind of I don't know. I mean, it probably makes it especially kind of confusing. This is more of like an indie game, so like
yeah, it is an indie game.
Yeah, but it was kind of worked on by multiple people. I guess you could technically say the Meatly. I think he's kind of the main creator of the Bendy games.
Yeah, Meatly would be the most recognizable.
Yeah. I mean, because lately you kind of said there are because you got multiple answers. There are multiple people who kind of worked on this together, but I think the Meatly is the really popular one that people know.
So should I do that or the whatever the name of the studio was? The film reels that opened the part with.
Well, the thing that we saw at the beginning when it said like Joey Studios or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
That's just an in-game name to like.
Yeah, just an in-game name. That's
that's not the actual name of the developer. That's just an in-universe thing.
No. That's just an that's just supposed to be like kind of give you context of like that's the studio we're in. We're in Joey Drew Studios, but that's not like an actual thing that exists.
Oh, I legit thought that was like the actual name of the developer or the publisher.
It's understandable. It does really kind of present itself like that. But I'm pretty sure it's not the actual thing.
Yeah, because you open up the part like that, and so I just thought, okay, whatever then.
I mean, I might be wrong. Who knows? I probably am, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the actual like publisher.
This thing has books.
This thing has books.
Yeah, apparently I just looked at Bendy Imaging. Apparently it has books.
Okay, you're opening the next part with that. You know that, right?
See ya, and we're back for the next part where I guess Carlos will talk about books.